Welcome to the RotoWire Week 10 start sit show. A little bit before the top of the hour, halftime. Falcons 14, Colts 13. Colts missed an extra point, short on a 53-yard field goal. Don't see that a lot anymore. These kickers typically have cannons. Ball came up short. I was a little surprised. Saw it was straight. Figured it was good. Guess not so much. Michael Penix 99 yards and a touchdown. Nice play to Drake London, who has 4 for 72 and a touchdown. Those who were worried about Sauce Gardner shadowing him, it didn't happen. There have been snaps they've been on each other, but even on the touchdown, Gardner was in his own look, and he didn't take the outside, and London wins for a big touchdown, so London goes off. Bijan Robinson had a couple bigger runs, 9 for 47 on the ground, but only a catch for -4 yards, so hopefully he ticks up. Of course, Tyler Algier rushes for the touchdown. Not a whole lot else for Atlanta. Daniel Jones, 142 and a touchdown through a late pick at the end of the first half. Didn't really hurt them at all, but Jones did run for 25 yards. Jonathan Taylor, 10 for 57, so he's bouncing back a little bit from last week's rougher game on his way to a potentially 100-yard game. Alec Pierce leading easily the team, 4 for 84 and a touchdown. Been saying for weeks, he is a real and important part of this offense. I don't know what the weekly targets will be going forward. Last week he had a ton of them, but Alec Pierce is really becoming a favorite of Daniel Jones. Michael Pittman, 1 for 9. Downs, 1 for 3. Tyler Warren, at least 3 for 28. So overall, it's just it was a game that looked like it was going to be really explosive score-wise. Then it kind of went through some lulls. A very, very odd game. It hasn't kept a similar vein throughout. But let's get to the questions now as we're at the top of the hour, starting out with a super chat question. Scott Cobe is in the house, coming out hot with the Drake May or Matthew Stafford. As you see, I have May 4 and Stafford 5 in my rankings. May does have a little tougher of a matchup. It's really hard to assess Drake May. We know he's playing at a super high level. The schedule's been ridiculously easy. Tampa Bay is going to definitely send some heat, but May has proven that he definitely has the ability to win in different ways. So that is really, really important. But that said, Matthew Stafford has been playing at a great level. They can win Puka Nacua against the zone looks, Devontae Adams against the man looks. I have them right next to each other. I would think Drake May's rushing ability is what puts me slightly ahead of Stafford. I think that May has the safest floor. There could be a world where maybe Kyron Williams scores some short touchdowns. So I just think it's an eyelash. I do have May higher, again, for the running, but otherwise it is as close as it gets. All right, let's see. We go to Melly Matrix, Morning You as well. Baker Mayfield against New England or Sam Darnold against Arizona. Arizona is down 2 of their top cornerbacks in this game. That is a massive storyline that likely does not get talked about. So Will Johnson's out, Max Melton's out, and their middle linebacker, Wilson's out. And so overall, I just think Sam Darnold I think you need to go with here. Baker Mayfield, he had 2 down games. One wasn't his fault. The New Orleans game, they won 23-3. They didn't need him. But aside from Ibuka who should be healthy now, the weapons really are getting to be a problem there. So Sam Darnold, where I rank Mayfield higher. I ranked him at 8, but I probably, the more I rethink it, I probably should have flipped those 2. And I think that, before kickoff, I may flip that before it's too late. But I think Darnold would be, and you know what? Basically, those 2 cornerbacks, I think that makes a big difference. So I'm going to go with Sam Darnold there for that reason. All right. Morning Drovers. PPR, Jennings or Monangai. So DeAndre Swift is going to play this week, so that's important. The Giants have been terrible against the run. The Bears' run blocking has been incredible. I know that DeAndre Swift did nothing to lose his role. He has been nothing but what they've asked for, especially since the bye week. The Washington game, the New Orleans game, DeAndre Swift was playing at an extremely high level. So my opinion is, I don't know that if going off against Cincinnati all of a sudden makes this a 50-50. I think that is a stretch beyond stretches, but could it happen? Sure. Swift was giving up 4 to 7 carries to Monangai a game when the games were close. The double-digit win against the Saints, he got more looks. And there was another game where there was, I can't remember it now, but it's a game script thing. So I still think Monangai is risky here, but Jennings is in a good spot. Jennings missed the first Rams 49ers game, and that's when Kendrick Bourne had 10 for a buck 42. And the 49ers, we know Shanahan is going to attack those corners, and they're going to attack them with a lot of quick stuff. I would give the edge to Juwan Jennings here, but if you believe that Monangai has figured out a way to get half of the work, then I think you give Monangai the edge. I'm just not ready to go there yet. I think it's a little too early for you to make that move. And then tight end, Fanning or Taylor? You know what? I'm going to go with Taylor here. They both are going to see targets. I don't know the level of Fanning's hamstring injury. I don't know if that could be an aggravation. He's cleared to play, but for that reason, I'll give Mason Taylor the slight edge. Singletary, Watson, Kupp, or Shaheed. Singletary did get some work, but I think that could be week to week with how that shakes out. Kupp's not 100%. Watson is really the big plays. That's what the Eagles tend to limit. So I would go with Shaheed there in his new matchup. Remember, Kupp is really iffy. I don't know if he's playing or not, but he's certainly not 100%. And we know that Horton is doubtful. So I would give Shaheed a whirl in this one as well. And you have a great day as well. Thank you. All right, Kevin Keller, good morning to you. You need 3 from the following: Diggs, Jennings, Devontae Smith, Waddle, or Monty. Certainly going for Waddle, even in a game that Buffalo probably wins easily. Montgomery should have some ability in what should be a big win. It's more than a touchdown favorites, the Lions, and Washington has not been a great run. They're a little better up the middle than outside, but I still think Montgomery is going to get volume in this one, so I would go with him. And it's really hard to sit Devontae Smith, especially since we've seen the Eagles start to figure out some of their defensive shortcomings recently. So I'd go with Smith, Waddle, and Montgomery. Kevin, between Mason and Monty. You got to go with Monty because Mason has played 3 games with Aaron Jones and he's averaged 5 PPR points. He has done nothing in the 3 games with Aaron Jones. And Montgomery, like I just said for the last question, at least we know game script is very likely to be on his side. Goddard, Juwan Johnson, or Barner. I don't know how you said Goddard right now. I mean, can he not score a touchdown? Yes. Can he not get 40 yards? Yes. But he has been productive almost every week. And Juwan Johnson has a floor. I just don't know that there's a ceiling there. And I think that the floor isn't high enough to bench Goddard. A.J. Barner is apparently dealing with some kind of an injury, so he may not be 100%, and that would shy me away from him for sure there. And let's see what we got here. Vinny, good morning. Fannin or Juwan Johnson? Juwan Johnson, I have 8. Fannin, I have is 11. I do think with Shaheed out, and Johnson has a good matchup as well, I do think he's going to see a solid number of targets here. And again, with Fannin, maybe not 100% because of the hamstring, it's enough to make me say, yeah, we'll just go that way. Monangai, I guess that's DJ Moore, right? Or Kenneth Walker. I see he has 2 running backs in there. I'm trying to think there's another Moore in there, but I think DJ Moore is the only one. DJ Moore has been good the last 2 weeks. Defenses have shifted coverage largely to Odunze now. They're playing a little more press on Odunze. They're putting a little more safety help over the top against him. So defenses have changed their view of the Bears, and they're now treating them like Odunze is being treated as a 1, and DJ Moore's getting more room to work. So I'm going to give DJ Moore the edge. Kenneth Walker, single-digit PPR points last 4 games. No real signs. And Arizona's been surprisingly decent against the run. And you heard me talk about Monangai earlier, so that's the way we'll go there. All right, Joshua, Dobbs or Wan'Dale Robinson. So Philadelphia, Dobbs will see some of his snaps against Quinjon Mitchell. Don't know how many, but he'll see a good number of them. Probably at the best matchup. And then Cooper DeJean is expected to move outside. That's at least a prevailing thought after Michael Carter was acquired. So overall, I think Dobbs has a fine floor. But I think Wan'Dale is a similar floor, and it's supposed to be a sloppy game in Chicago. Weather is kind of weird here. I live a few miles away. I think it's not going to be anything, but it's not going to be anything treacherous. But I think it's an advantage to the offense. The field could be a little bit slick. That helps the offense. I think Robinson's piling up targets, so I think Wan'Dale is a little safer of a floor than Dobbs, and either of them could find the end zone. So I give Wan'Dale a slight edge. I got Wan'Dale actually rated pretty high at 22 of the remaining receivers. Of course, this sheet is all the remaining players, and then Dobbs at 26, so not real far behind him, so it's close. Obviously, the red tags or salmon tags are a player that I see with extra downside. Green is extra upside. And then yellow, and I got to take the yellow off of Justin Fields now because he has been named the starter for this one, and Tyrod Taylor has been moved back to the bench. Poor Tyrod Taylor, guy can't catch a break. All right, let me just see. I think I have yeah, I caught up. All right. ER Batterman. Good morning to you as well. Pick 2. Kenneth Walker, Vidal, and Moore. I'm going with Moore here. Vidal has 2 horrible games. He has 2 great games. And so I think he is like that matchup driven play. And Pittsburgh showed us last week that they kind of were able to figure out some things against the run. And they did very well selling out on Jonathan Taylor, taking their chances. With Joe Alt down for the year, that offensive line, Chargers not so good. Vidal is tough to start here. And Kenneth Walker, like I said, it's been bunch of single-digit PPR points, and Moore's had double digits the last 2 games. You just heard me explain more, so no need to go through that all again. Delroy, Mac Jones, Davis Mills, Marcus Mariota. I'm inclined to go with Mac Jones here. Mac Jones played the Rams a while back, and Kyle Shanahan's. Both of these coaches are extremely comfortable with each opposing team, but I think Kyle Shanahan has a really good feel for how to attack the Rams. And so I think Mac Jones does really well here. Davis Mills, not so much. Just he might a little floor, but that's it. Mariota, this is not a good matchup for him. When Mariota is a cake matchup, he's a great fantasy play, but I think Detroit's going to be playing angry in this one. And I know it sounds subjective, but coming off a loss, they're going to be flying around on defense, and no Terry McLaurin means the defense can compress things down. Yeah, not so good for him there. All right, let's see. My question popped off here. Here we go. All right, there. And then Cade Otton or Luke Musgrave. Lots of talk. Okay, Otton I have is 22. Musgrave I have is 17. Philly has some safety issues still. I think that they could be attacked there. I would be inclined to give a little bit of an edge and go with the higher ranking here to Luke Musgrave, just thinking that he gets 4 targets. And though they highly scheme their tight ends open with Green Bay, and I think that that's attackable in this one. J-Rad, good morning to you as well. You need a wide receiver, tight end, a flex. Waddle, Kittle, Gadsden, Parker, Washington, Quentin Johnson. Those who were here last week knew I liked Quentin Johnson last week because Alt was back, and it's a big deal when Alt's in because there's more time. But when Alt's not there, they got to get the ball out quickly. So it's going to be McConkey, Keenan Allen, and Oronde Gadsden. It's be short, quick game. That's what they have to play. They can't get their quarterback killed. So Gadsden's firmly in play here as your tight end. And you got Kittle too, though. Kittle's been terrible, but you can't sit him. Yeah, you just can't sit Kittle because we know his talent. We know he can get 2 touchdowns in any game, and any fantasy manager drafted him. Even last year tricked us because he didn't have a down. He had 1 down game. It was a snow game in Buffalo. But you play Kittle, and in Gadsden you're using as a flex, and you're using Waddle. Parker Washington, I know he's in a great spot here because he had the big game 90 yards last week, but I just think counting on him week to week is dicey because if a defense decides to put any attention on him and with the options they have, that could happen. All of a sudden, that could be like a 2 for 8, and I'm not willing to take that risk. And Quentin Johnson, like I said, I just think they're going to have to start going back to throwing quicks, and that's going to really hurt Quentin Johnston. All right, let me mark this time. I never had a super chat question. I know it always bounces me off when I'm done. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, Luis. PPR pick 2. Monangai. Gee, Will. Oh man, I wish you would have spelled that out for me. Garrett Wilson. All right. Yeah, you guys spell these out for me because I'm a little old here and it goes faster. Tez Johnson, Darius Slayton, Harold Fannin, Zach Charbonnet, and picking 2. So Garrett Wilson has to be in here. He does very well with Justin Fields, and there's no reason when he's healthy, there's no reason to sit him down. And outside of those, I think the best floor of the remaining group could be Monangai. Again, Fan is dealing with a little bit of a hamstring apparently, but he's clear from the injury report. But I think so. I would go with Monangai and Garrett Wilson, but consider Fannin. And if you're not worried about his hamstring injury, which we don't know, but he would be a really solid play in this. You would think that they're going to keep throwing with Dylan Gabriel short. But I think Monangai for Garrett Wilson, for me, they meet the bar pretty easily over the others. All right, let me get to the 9-16 one on this so I can find exactly where I was at. All right, and it looks like we're on Chris now. All right, Chris, morning you as well. Half PPR, Vidal, ETN, or Rashad White. So those who watched last week heard me say that I was really expecting that Liam Cohen would figure out in the week 8 bye that their run game was what was working for them for the first 4 weeks, and then they started to become a pass first team, and then everything was a mess. And then after the bye, I thought they'd go back to a run game. And ETN had 22 carries and 5 receptions. Couldn't get in at the end zone. He had multiple chances. I'm going with ETN here. ETN is the engine to that offense. It is pretty well coached up, the run game, and with that dual purpose versatility, I think ETN has the best floor of the group. Rashad White is certainly playing an elite role, but New England has been a very strong defense in their front seven. And I don't know there's a great matchup for White. And you heard me talk about Vidal earlier, a bad matchup. And again, with the offensive line a mess, it's going to go to ETN there. I'm going to go Drake May in this one, Jay. Drake May just with his running, that was Mayfield stopped running. This is for everybody. Mayfield ran the first 3 games. He looked like last year was at least, I believe, top of my head, 33 yards rushing in each of those first 3 games. He has a total of like 30 yards in his last 4 games on the ground. And if Mayfield's not going to run and he only really has Ibuka as a reliable target, the 145-pound Tez Johnson, I know once in a while it looks good, but I think you go with Drake May there. Drake May just has a lot of ways to get things done. And half PPR need 2, Keenan Allen, Jordan Addison, Ted McMillan, and Debo. Wow, these are all like equal plays, right? Addison, I have ranked at wide receiver 16, but I am so nervous about his quarterback. They got 2 for 48, and he ran for 16 last week, so that certainly helped. Keenan Allen, I think he gets more targets, but I ranked him at 27 because he doesn't. As a 33-year-old player, he doesn't look quite the same as he did in week 1 and 2. So he certainly could score 2 touchdowns here. So he's an upside play. McMillan is always going to be limited by his quarterback, which stinks. He is off the injury report, but that injury did pop up Friday. So there is a little concern there. But otherwise, this is not a bad matchup. Debo has been down the last 3 games. He did have 9 PPR points last week. But I do think that Debo isn't a spot against Detroit. If as more than a touchdown favorites, it would seem as if there should be a lot of quick game to Debo Samuel, and my guess is he'll be okay. So I will go with Addison and Samuel. But if you, like me, don't trust J.J. McCarthy, I would consider putting McMillan in his place because McCarthy does scare me. And it's very important to note that. And they're playing Baltimore, and Baltimore, they don't have the greatest pressure package, but they could send it. So I do think you got to consider that as well. Morning, Jeff, Sean, Tucker, or Charbonnet. Charbonnet has a little bit more of an established role. He still plays, I think it was like 55% of the snaps he plays, and he does get goal line work, and Arizona's a good run defense, but at the goal line, it seems to be Charbonnet's, where Sean Tucker, he might get a goal line carry, but I don't think he is like the established where he's the only person we're looking at when we're at the goal. So I just think you go with the guy with the better floor, and that'd be Charbonnet in this case. Good morning, 1 point PPR, Henderson or Vidal, even if you're starting Quentin Johnston. So again, Vidal's had 2 great games and he's had 2 terrible games. Henderson was seeing 75 or 77% of the snaps last week, right around there. He did get a good number of touches, did not get the goal line touch. Henderson, I think, will be involved as a receiver. It is a terrible, terrible matchup against Tampa Bay for him. But I think he gets some usefulness in the pass game. Vidal has just been 2 games with 5 fantasy points. And then he had 2 that were great. And with the state of that offense right now and Pittsburgh playing a little bit more inspired last week and might move forward, I'm going to give Henderson the edge here. If you want to swing for the fence, then Vidal's your boom bust, obviously, because he's done both in 4 weeks. That's your boom bust call. I got a super chat, and then I'll come back to this question from Jeff. I'm going to mark 936 on there, so I have that on my doc. Like I said, sometimes it bounces me off here. So I might have 2 super chat questions here. Lee, thank you for putting in the super chat, but I don't have a question attached to it, so I'm not able to answer it. I'm sorry, but again, these always, like, if you see when I click on, like, Scott's had a question and Luis had a question, so that's how I'm not an expert at that, but that's what I need to be able to find your question, because otherwise in the chat, there's probably a couple hundred questions and I would never find it. Chris, half PPR, you need to Odunze, Rashad White, or McMillan. Odunze goose egg last week. 3 of the last 4 games, he's at 32 yards or less. that's a problem. That's a real problem. Top child, nope. Kyle Pitts bounced off. Just watching that last play, 3rd and 5. Atlanta had a shot with Kyle Pitts there. All right. So, but Odunze, yeah, it's been a scuffle. He had that one good game against Baltimore, I think 7 for $114. So that was still in there. Rashad White is a floor play, but again, and Luke Hideki, they get their right tackle back, so that might help a little bit. McMillan, I do think of this group, McMillan, you got to play. His floor is stable. So now between the last two, White, as of now, as of the last 4 weeks, has a safer floor than Odunze, but Odunze has the potential for a spike game. So your decision really comes down to McMillan's in. If you want the safer floor play, you go with White. If you want to bank like 8 to 10 points, half PPR, yeah, eight-ish PPR, half PPR. Then you go ahead and play White. But if you're going to need 18 to 20, then you're going to have to you're going to have to roll the dice. You're going to have to go with Dunze and hoping that they get him back on track. And, New York is down a corner today. They're down Paulson Adebo. They have Cordell Flodden, but being down a corner certainly does help. And the pass defense in New York's not good. Now, the weather is not the best in Chicago, but I really don't think it affects the passing game too much. Fabian, more in you as well. You need two. Travion, Woody Marks, Jawan Jennings, Parker Washington. I will go Jawan Jennings. I do think, remember Kendrick Bourne at the 10 for 142 game. Jawan Jennings missed that game. And Kyle Shanahan knows how to attack that Rams defense. So I think Jawan Jennings is going to be a factor here. Travion Henderson of the next group. Again, as I said, it's a really bad run matchup, but he should get the ball through the air, and his snap share last week was incredible. So I do think you have to consider him. Parker Washington, like I just said, if last week he was great, but if the defense was any real attention on him, it could be problematic because they don't have a lot of options right now. They got Jacoby Myers coming in from a trade and De'Ami Brown off a concussion, but De'Ami Brown hasn't been great either. So I just think that's a low-scoring game. So I just think you because of the snap share with Henderson and the fact they threw the ball to him last week, I think that's the way you got to go with that one. And then your tight end, Loveland, Juwan Johnson, or David Njoku. So David Njoku's fully healthy now, and what we've seen of that offense with Dylan Gabriel, they're going to throw a lot of short stuff. So to me, David Njoku is a great play for this one. Loveland's tough because, like I said, he was 3 for 30 range for 2 games before. Played Cincinnati. You can't cover the tight end. Cole Kmet is back. Remember, Kmet left that game early, so some of those targets could have gone to Cole Kmet. So that's a little dangerous. I think Njoku is the safest play of this group. And I think that Chicago Giants game is lower scoring than we think. And so that's kind of a tiebreaker. Juwan Johnson's a fine play here, but I think David Njoku has to get more targets because remember, when even in that game he hurt his knee, he was on pace for another good game. So I think that's the way you go at that one. And then we got Lee. Lee, thanks for coming back on that. I appreciate you. McCarthy, Mariota, or Brissett. So Brissett's been nothing but gold, right? I think it's at least 26 fantasy points in his 3 starts. This is a really bad matchup, but there's injuries. So in Seattle, I'm going to check exactly who they're without. They're without Ernest Jones, their blitzing linebacker. So I think that really helps. With their right corner is out in this game. So that does give Brissett a little bit better of a chance, but it's still a rough matchup. Mariota, he's real matchup dependent. And I think the fact, though, that he could get some garbage time here because Detroit's coming off a tough loss, and we know how they come out of those losses. They come out charged up, and there's a chance they play with a big lead. Mariota has the best chance for garbage time. McCarthy, he got it done for fantasy last week, but, man, it was problematic. But for fantasy, he got it done. Now they're playing Baltimore. I don't know if the smoke and mirrors isn't going to keep working. I don't think. I think Baltimore, and they got all their secondary players are healthy. So that's a huge deal for them. So Atlanta 17-13 got a field goal. All right. So I would give Mariota the upside tag here. So if you want to go for the highest upside player, I think it's Mariota, but I think Brissett has the safest floor of the 3, especially with those key injuries for the Seattle Seahawks and what is an outstanding defense and a bad matchup for Brissett. But Brissett's your safer floor play because Mariota could really get buried here. But if you're playing for the big upside, then he is your call. All right, let me get to where I left off those questions. And I think we're right about here. Okay, sounds good. And all right, let's see here. Okay, so next question here. We've got May or Herbert, White or Swift. Justin Herbert, I'm a little bit concerned because Pittsburgh really, really looked good defensively last week. And they hadn't all year. And with the offensive line issues, they're going to send a ton of heat at him. So it's going to be a lot of quick game. Drake May, and I know, or see, Herbert runs as well. I have Herbert with the downside tag because I can see this game being lower scoring. I'm going to give Drake May the edge here, and I know Tampa is a good defense. They're going to send a lot of heat, but I'm going to trust Drake May because Drake May has more ways to get it done, and he hasn't really shown the implosion game where Herbert can have that one. Where I think so, the safer play here is the one I'm going to go with in the higher ranked quarterback for that one. Colts are down to the 20-yard line. Daniel Jones fumbles the ball, but picks it up. All right. Henry's next. Harrison Jr. or Laporte? Oh, that's a great question. It's a tough one, too. We saw that Harrison Jr. has been featured a little bit by Jacoby Brissett on occasion, and that certainly has helped him out. Looked good against Dallas, certainly last week, but of course, it was Dallas. No shade on Harrison for that, of course. And one of the corners is down for Seattle, the right corner, Josh Jobs. So there'll be some opportunities for Harrison to have some good matchups. Laporta, I wonder how much they need him here. It could be a game where they score 50 and everybody eats, and that's always on the table. But I think this is a game where Detroit comes in run-based. Now, Goff could throw 5 touchdowns. So I think your ceiling play, your boom bust play is Laporta because they may not need him. But if they go nuclear and score 50 points, then everybody eats, and then there's no bad plays in their entire thing. So he's your upside play. But Harrison, I think, has a safer floor. Brissett has been getting him the ball. And I think Harrison actually has, a reasonable ceiling because he is getting him the ball. Brissett is in the red zone, so that certainly helps well. He and McBride, 2-man game. All right, and then Disco Dave, non-PPR, a running back and a flex. Vidal, Benungai, McMillan, DJ Moore, and Gadsden. So you got to have a running back out of that group. Wow. So I've thrown all kinds of shade on Vidal, obviously, and I'm not real excited about his matchup. But one thing I will say is Vidal is more like, Daniel Jones sack, fumble, and picked up by the Falcons. Danny Dimes, that last pick at the end of the half, not too worried about, but he had a ball fall out of his hand a minute ago, and now sack, fumble, turnover. Hopefully we're not seeing the old Danny Dimes coming back. Not so good there, but it's a couple plays. We'll see how they do. All right. So anyway, I think Vidal, the probability is he gets more touches. So there's that. I don't know what Monangai's role is going to be. And that's my answer to everybody. In competitive games, he's seen 4 to 7 carries in every one. DeAndre Swift has done nothing to lose his job. He has been nothing but what the Bears have expected of him. So to punish Swift would be surprising to me. And again, I don't know how much credit you give when a running back lights up Cincinnati. I just don't know. Cincinnati has a horrific defense. So I would say Vidal is safer. But Monangai, if you believe that Monangai is also going to work and a half to work, then it's an easy matchup. So I think Monangai could have more upside. I would play Vidal there. As your flex, Gadsden probably is your play here because they got to use the quick game with Alt out, and he has been really, really active in there. And those 3 are rock solid close plays. They're all based on how they're playing. They're right on the same plane. But I would give Gadsden a bit of the edge because I think the way the offense has to run is they've got to get the ball underneath, and he is part of their answer in Los Angeles. And Jeff, you heard me just answer that for somebody else. So again, it really depends on Monangai is your boom bust play. Vidal is a higher floor because we expect. And then I know we gave carries to Jarrett Patterson last week, but we expect that Vidal does have a higher floor because he should get more carries. Whereas Monangai, we just really don't know his role. We're all wish casting and guessing, but at the end of the day, we really don't know what the true reality is in the Chicago backfield. Mark, good morning. Hope all of you also. PPR, you need 3 receivers and a flex. Marks, Tracy, Watson, McMillan, Bourne, and Slayton. So Tet is in. Watson, I worry about a little bit because Vic Fangio's defense is really good at taking away explosives. Tracy's in that timeshare, but the Bears' run defense is not good. So I think we'll put Tracy in there as a second one with McMillan. And Woody Marks, not really a good matchup here. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. But Slayton, I don't. That's a really rough role here because I don't see Jackson Dart throwing it downfield where Slayton does best, but Slayton's gotten targets with him. Kendrick Bourne, we know he had the huge game, but now Jennings is back and he is really way higher on the pecking order than Kendrick Bourne as that goes. So I would say I actually, even though I don't like the Watson matchup, I would get Watson in here because the game could go higher scoring. I'd go McMillan. I would go Tracy. And for the last one, PPR, you know what? I would say Woody Mark's going to catch some pass out of the backfield. So I might go with him fourth. I got a super chat question, then I got to come back on the others. All right. All right, we got Joseph, Vidal, Quentin Johnson, and Gadsden not liking if she pulled shots on the flex, or Vidal for Mark Charbonnet, Mason, or Chuba. So if you were going to pull Vidal out, I think the player I would go with is Charbonnet because Charbonnet of those players plays over half the snaps. He does have a reasonably high, floor each week. He is their preferred red zone player. And so, yeah, I get it, not wanting to overload yourself with Chargers players because if the game goes south, that means your fantasy week goes south. So I do think Charbonnet's floor is a player. Mason, I said earlier, Mason just has his 5.5 PPR points per game in the 3 games at Aaron Jones. It's really problematic. Chuba Hubbard, I think, played 20% of the snaps last week. So that was a problem. Oh, man, Sauce Gardner almost picked off Michael Penix, jumped a route. Wow. Not the best quarterback play. All right. So, yes. And then that's the way I would look at that, though. I would do that. So, good call on that one. All right. Let me find my questions here. I got to scroll down to that time there. I'll be momentarily there. And there we go. Okay. All right. Shookson. Good morning to you as well. Full PPR. Quentin Johnson, Shaheed, Parker Washington, Demario Douglas. So, I do like Shaheed here because the coaches were already saying they got to push him in the role, but he knows the offense. He played for Clint Kubiak last year. Now I know he hasn't had reps with Darnold, but he knows the offense and the routes are the routes, and Darnold knows the routes and Shaheed knows the routes. So I think that's important. So I do think you go there. I mentioned earlier my concern with Quentin Johnson. There's gonna be a lot of quick game with no Joe Alt out, and Pittsburgh likely sending pressure. Between Parker Washington and Pop Douglas has had in 3 of the last 4 games, he's been decent. And I know he doesn't play the same position as Kayshon Boutte, who's out, but Pop Douglas could be productive in this game. And I do think with the Tampa blitz coming frequently, I think they're going to need him as a little bit more of an escape hatch here. So I would give the edge to Pop Douglas for the second one, or Demario Douglas, like I keep calling him, Demario Douglas. Let's see what we got here. We got next question: Fields or McCarthy? Man, Fields is a bad matchup here. They play a lot of man coverage, so he doesn't get the easy throws. He doesn't read defenses extremely well. Josh Palmer is out today, by the way, for those who were hoping he would play. Ian Rappaport just broke that. Okay, so McCarthy, like we said, from an NFL standpoint, he looked terrible last week, but for fantasy, he ran in 1, he threw for 2, so he got it done for fantasy for you. So I think ultimately McCarthy, I have them both very low. I have them as my 19 to 20, the remaining quarterbacks. But ultimately, I would say McCarthy probably has a higher floor because he's going to get you 13 to 14 points. He has a higher floor. We've seen Fields with single-digit games, but I don't know that the floor is high enough that you sit Fields. So, but Fields is so dangerous to play, and this is not a good matchup for him. He is going to be under a lot of duress here, and a lot of bad things can happen. So ultimately, if you want to take the chance that Fields changes his tactic and decides to run, and he hasn't been running much this year, so not to what we thought he would. So there's that. But I probably would just start McCarthy because Fields could get pulled. In any game right now, Fields could get pulled. And I think that's important to note. If they go down 17 to nothing, don't be surprised to see Tyrod Taylor. So you know what? That makes it much easier. Shook said next one, Stafford, Dart, or May. You see, I got Dart and Stafford. Not Dart. May and Stafford 4 and 5. Dart at 9, not bad, but I would go Drake May here. Drake May has proven all year to have a great floor, a good enough ceiling, and he has multiple ways to get things done. He can get it done as a runner. He can get it done as a passer. Always love Stafford. He's right there with May. I think the tiebreaker for me is the running ability of Drake May and the possibility that he even runs in a touchdown. It's close. It's close. Mark's next. PPR need one in a flex. McConkey, A.J. Brown, Rashad White, Travion Henderson. So we're going to make it real easy. Ladd McConkey and A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, before the bye, they got him reacclimated. I think they've used motion a little more than they figured that offense out. I do think this offense going forward is going to be fine. I have to think they had 2 straight games where the offense played well. And Ladd McConkey, with Alt out, and you saw it in the weeks that Alt missed, McConkey gets fed targets because they got to get the ball out. So you go with those 2 and call it a day. Bo Grand, morning to you as well. Caleb Williams or Jared Goff. So I have Caleb as my quarterback 7. I have Goff as my 13, but a green tag. Jared Goff could throw 5 touchdowns today. It would not surprise me in the least if he throws 5 touchdowns today, because it happened. When Washington wants to throttle a team, they can, and that's in the realm. But they also could run the ball all day and not need him in the second half and just keep running Gibbs and Montgomery. So Goff is very volatile, but he has massive upside here. Caleb Williams, I know he had the 2 down games because the Bears were running the ball so well, and they maybe could run it really well again here. But Caleb Williams has mostly had a decent floor. So that said, you want to shoot for the upside, definitely look at Goff. But I think Caleb Williams has a good enough floor to say he's a safer play. All right. And then Harlan next. Half PPR, you need 2. Keenan Allen, Jordan Addison, Deebo Samuel, Ted McMillan. I want to say I saw a similar question earlier. So as I think this through, and I know Deebo had like 5 for 40 last week. They're going to need him here. They're going to probably trail. I think your floor plays on this are Samuel and McMillan. And I don't know predicting ceiling for any of these guys is reasonable. Keenan Allen could score 2 touchdowns, but I'm not predicting it. And it's hard to predict him to score 1. So Keenan Allen may have the most upside of this entire group because he easily could have that game at 7 for 90 and 2 touchdowns. He could have that. But to predict that, that's another ball game. So your safest floor plays are Samuel and McMillan. If I were to go for ceiling, I might sit Samuel and play Keenan Allen and swing for the upside. Addison, again, he's a great, great player, but I really think the offense through the passing game is going to be Justin Jefferson and then everybody else. Delagizi, Fields, or Caleb. You heard me say it earlier. Fields is at risk of a benching at any time. If he has a bad first half, you're probably not going to see him in the second half. So I think anybody who's starting Fields, be careful, because Justin Fields has not consistently done enough to prove he's going to stay on the field. Mark, McMillan or Slade, got to go with McMillan. The floor is way too safe. And look, you know, I say that I'm not a McMillan guy because of his quarterback. McMillan's going to be a star, but his quarterback's going to limit him. But that limitation doesn't preclude McMillan from a great floor every week. And you got to go with that. And I know the yardage has been rough, but trusting Slayton, that's a tougher one. That's a tougher one. William, it looks like Colts 2nd and 12. Atlanta 17-13 halfway through the third quarter. Yeah, wow, that game started out so fast. Thought we were going to get a shootout, and it really hasn't happened. Jonathan Taylor. All right, let's see. We can get back to things. Nice run by Taylor. Good morning to you, William, as well. You need 2 here. TD heavy scoring with Judkins, DJ Moore, Dobbs, Watson, Jordan Mason, and Slayton. Definitely going with Judkins. I know he's had 2 rougher outings in the last 3, but the Jets have been hemorrhaging rushing yards. I want to say that the Bengals got him for 160. And when they traded Quinnen Williams away, Quinnen Williams was the anchor in the middle of that run defense. Anything the run defense did well in the middle, it was Quinnen Williams. He was an interior run-stopping game wrecker, and he's gone. And so wheels up on Judkins. Judkins, in my mind, is primed for a massive game. Of your next plays, I think that DJ Moore is being more and more used in the offense every week. And he ran in a touchdown. He threw a touchdown last week. I think that his usage is one that is trending up, and I would be inclined to use him here. Slayton role is too inconsistent. Mason hasn't been good when Aaron Jones has been in the lineup. Christian Watson, again, that's the predication of the defense by Fangio. Take away big downfield. Tyler Warren, schemed up pass, probably got you 20, 25 yards there. Very nice. And Romeo Doubs is always in play here. And TD heavy scoring, maybe TD heavy scoring, maybe Dobbs is a closer one, DJ more than I might think. I'd still go Judkins and Moore, but I would give consideration to Dobbs because he does the touchdown upside. He may be their best red zone passing game option with Tucker Kraft, unfortunately, not around right now. Tyler Warren 4 for 52, so he's getting closer to that threshold where you're happy that you started him in fantasy. All right, Delroy, full Fannin or Dalton Schultz. I tell you what, Dalton Schultz, and over the years, my opinion, he's just catching fog. It doesn't matter. This guy is getting 5 catches or more in almost every game. Last week it was even higher. And Davis Mills is going to have to get the ball out quickly. And I just think that's one of his players that's going to be trusted. I think that the floor that Schultz gives you is great. And again, with Fannin, we're not entirely sure. We know they cleared him from the hamstring injury, but that injury came up late last week. So I think that uncertainty says the floor of Schultz is good. But if you want to swing for upside, then if Fannin's hamstring ends up being okay, he gets a lot of those short passes. He's very good after the catch. So Fannin squarely in play for you there. But I think the safe call would be Schultz. Delegates, you're going with Juwan Johnson here. I know these receivers and tight ends play different roles, but with Rashid Shaheed gone, and he was getting a lot of targets, I don't think Brandon Cooks assimilates those targets. They can't be getting the ball much. I think Johnson has to get an uptick in targets, and he's like a slot receiver and plays about 70% of the snaps. I think that Juwan Johnson's role is very secure. And don't forget, Tucker Kraft is a beast, but there are a lot of games and he only got 4 targets. And that tight end position doesn't always get heavy targeted. So you got to be careful on that one. So I would definitely go with Juwan Johnson there. He had that 3-game lull in the middle of the season, but he has been really good. First 3 or so games and the last 3 games, he's been really good for fantasy. Looks like 4th down inside the 20-yard line for the Indianapolis Colts, 4th and short, probably less than a yard. Wow, Vidal or Quentin Johnston. Man, appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you. They both are in a rough spot. You heard me talk earlier that when Alt is out, and I called this before the last situation when I said that the downfield passing game is going to have to go away because they can't let Justin Herbert hold the ball, not behind that line, and Pittsburgh's going to send heat. So, and they do run Quentin on some horizontal routes at times, but those are all the first down for the Colts. They went on 4th down and converted. So anyway, the short game, it's McConkey 1, Gadsden and Keenan Allen right behind, and then any leftovers go to Quentin. Vidal, we've seen the boom and the bust, but he's getting the ball. At least he's getting the ball. So I think for that reason, you got to go with Vidal because his role, and he's going to give some carries to Patterson, and I know it could be a hot hand thing, but I think his role is more secure than Quentin Johnson right now. Delroy, full PPR. Let's see what the Colts do here. Jonathan Taylor to the outside, down close to the 10-yard line. So Atlanta looking to take a lead, down 17-13, about 3 minutes left in the third. All right, start 3. Tillman, DJ Moore, Olave, Watson. So you've got 4. I would say sit Cedric Tillman. I love Cedric Tillman. I was in him in the preseason. Dylan Gabriel does not throw the ball downfield much at all. It's a bunch of quick out screens, flares to the tight end. They have, and maybe this is the game they unleash him. My guess is he has very little chemistry with Tillman. So I would sit Tillman here. And I love Tillman as a player. I just think that the passing game in Cleveland is very unhealthy right now, unless your name is David Njoku or Harold Fannin. But I just don't see receivers getting consistent good work here. All right, 3rd down and about 5 for the Colts inside the 10. We'll see how that results in any points. And, all right, imagery. Monty or Monangai. So as I said earlier, the Commanders are big underdogs to the Lions here, and the Lions it's over a touchdown. And this is the game where the Lions would look to establish their rushing attack, pound them into submission. This is what you would call the Monty game. These are the types of games where you get David Montgomery in. He's had plenty of games this year. They've been very disappointing, but this is the type of script, a game that they very easily could win by double digits, and that would be Monty being the closer. Daniel Jones, 4th and 1. He ran up the middle. We'll see what they do. They're right around the 5-yard line. All right. Caught up on Super Chat right now. Browns D or Jets D. Oh man. I'm gonna go with the Browns D here because Justin Fields, his career has been a kind of a turnover machine. So that's the way I'll go with that. The Jets D, having traded away Sauce and Quinn Williams, I just think that Quinshon Judkins runs the ball extremely well, controls it. And so, yeah, I think that the Browns D is your better play there. The Jets D is going to be in a little bit of trouble here, even against the limit. 4th and 1, Jonathan Taylor gets stuffed on an outside run. Great play. You know, it's funny with the Atlanta defense. And look, these coaches are way smarter than me. I get all this. But the one place you really want to take advantage of the Atlanta defense, you want to run power up the middle. They're a light defense. They're very fast to the perimeter. And they ran an outside run. They tried to block it up with Warren and a receiver on the outside chipping down, but that's a fast flowing defense. And you see, they filled that gap up super fast. Again, I'm not a coach. They're smarter than me, but you run power against a small team and good things happen. And it didn't happen there. All right. So anyway, 17-13 Falcons. They have the ball, 47 seconds left in the third. Indianapolis missed a field goal. They missed an extra point. They better figure things out quickly here. All right, Zacchaeus or Shaheed? Zacchaeus has 6 targets plus in 3 of his last 4 games. One of the games was really good for fantasy, but one of those, he had like a 7 for 33, I think he had in there. I think the ceiling's dicey. I think that Chicago Giants game is low scoring. I don't think they need Zacchaeus. I think both teams could have success running the ball here. I don't think they need Zacchaeus here. I will go with Shaheed because, like I said earlier, this trade, he knows he played for Clint Kubiak last year, so he knows the playbook. So there's no acclamation there. So as long as Sam Darnold throws it where he's supposed to, not an issue. Oh, what a dart to Drake London to get him out of the hole. Great player. We'll see if that holds up as a catch. I hope it does. Drake London's awesome. Great throw by Michael Penix. I throw shade on him a little bit, but but this is a fantastic low throw between 3 defenders. Wow. All right. Good morning, Michael. Fantasy Meatball. Busy weekend. Yeah, always a busy weekend. Appreciate you listening to all of it. Oh, man, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. We love your support, Michael. You mean a lot to us. Everybody out here does. Thank you for making, you know what? A lot of you are here every week. I just want to say thank you to be part of your football Sunday routine. It's an honor to be part of that. So thank you for being part of this, everybody. Appreciate you greatly. Good morning to you, Pedro. What are my thoughts on Torrey Horton? So he's doubtful this week, so we won't see him this week. I think they know he's a great developing player. He has a lot of positives. But when they paid 2 good draft picks, I think a 4th round is one for Rashid Shaheed, they want to upgrade that. So, and this is a team that does not play a lot of 3 receiver sets. They're a 2 tight end based offense. So my thought on Torrey Horton right now, I think that he's not a player you want on your roster because as the season deepens to your fantasy playoffs, the wide receiver room is going to be about the first 2 options. Smith and Jigba is going to be Mr. Everything, and Rashid Shaheed's going to have a real role here. And so outside of that, then I think Horton and the 2 tight end offense and their defense is good, so they don't play a lot of games trailing. So I think that's a rough one. So I think you got to keep Christian Kirk here. At least he gets targets. We'll see when Stroud gets back if they can finally put something together here. It's been kind of a lost season for Kirk, but they do have him as part of the offense. They get him targets. So I do think he could perk up in the fantasy playoffs if he's healthy. Gosh, that guy's got to stay on the field. All right. Delroy, full PPR start too. Njoku, Juwan, and Henry. Wow. I am going to reluctantly sit Hunter Henry. He's been de-emphasized in the offense. I do think with the Tampa blitz, I think that he could be an antidote or an answer. Njoku just gets targets. Juwan Johnson's 3 straight games. He's like double-digit PPR points. And with Shaheed gone, I just think that Njoku and Juwan Johnson, they both have a target floor that's very good. Where Hunter Henry, we are really flipping a coin and hoping the coaching staff decides to go to him. And remember, the weeks you start Henry, then you say, oh, they throw Austin Hooper 3 passes. Njoku and Juwan Johnson are getting the ball. So there's that. All right. I have another super chat question. So let me get to that. All right. All right. The Mark Aram Show. I hope your show's going well, Mark. TD only. Pick 4. Adunze, Shakir, Wandale, Theo Johnson, Luke Musgrave. All right. Or Mason Taylor. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to sit 2. The reason I'll sit Mason Taylor is because I don't know how many points the Jets are able to score here. So I think their touchdown opportunities would be the lowest. I think the second player I sit would be Luke Musgrave because I know they scheme tight end touches in the red zone, but I think that's a function of Tucker Kraft. I think now in the red zone, there's going to be a higher priority on Josh Jacobs, maybe Romeo Doubs on the perimeter. I don't think they're going to emphasize Musgrave in the red area. So I think Theo Johnson's been very nice. It's tough to start 2 Giants, and that's a tough one. But there's a good chance at least one of them scores. And so you'd like to capture that touchdown, hoping they both score. Shakir's in a decent enough spot against Miami here. Odunze's been in a slump, but again, this is a game. Paulson and Debo's out. It is an opportunity. Maybe Odunze gets back. So yeah, I would sit Musgrave and Mason Taylor. I love Mason Taylor, but again, against Cleveland, I just don't know how many points there are. Michael Penix trying to dart away from a sack, throws it away. They'll be punting the ball. So the Colts 14:40 left in the game will be getting it back. All right, let's get back to the live questions. And I think we're right here. Let's see here. I had Delroy's, and I think I'm on Carlos now. PPR wide receiver, Tet McMillan or Tez Johnson. Yeah, and you look, I get it with the hamstring. I get it. But you know what? Tez Johnson, and it's been cool watching Tez Johnson. It's going to be risky. It's the more film that's out on Tez Johnson, the more I think that defenses can handle him. And I think New England plays smart enough zone defense that they'll have an answer for him. I just think Tet McMillan's floor of targets is something that you can count on. So I think you go with that. Oh, nice punt return by Josh Downs. Got him down to the 45-yard line. What a brilliant return, weaving through traffic. Yeah, I'm going to take the chance on Tet McMillan there. Tez has been fun to watch. I definitely will say he's been very fun to watch. Delroy, Baker Mayfield or Jared Goff. Mayfield's been, like I said, I think we give him a pass for the pre-bye game against New Orleans. They were won 23-3. They didn't need him. In the game against Detroit, he was amped up on Red Bull or something because he's throwing the ball over everybody's head. Baker Mayfield's way safer. But I tell you what, if you want upside this week, I would go to Jared Goff because if this is one of those games, they score 40, they score 50, Goff could throw you 5 touchdowns. But they also could run the ball all day and not need them. So that's why I have them at 13 of the remaining quarters, but I have the upside tag on them. So if you want to shoot for the high upside, it's Goff. But if you just want to make sure you get your 20 points and call it a day, then I think that Baker Mayfield's your call there. PPR, flex, start one, Parker Washington, Mason Taylor, Harold Fannin. I've had a few Parker Washington questions I haven't answered with him. If Fannin didn't have the unknown injury, I would say him. And Mason Taylor is really close. I think Parker Washington is going to get targets here. And they're going to play him in the slot according to the coach. And that is actually against Houston. Jalen Petrie, the slot corner, is out. So for that reason, I'll go Parker Washington. J-Rad, receiver, tight end, and a flex. You need 3. Waddle, Kittle, Gadsden, Parker, Washington. We are going to go with the first 3. Kittle, you just can't bench him. Waddle has, other than that one weather-impacted game in Cleveland, he's been great. Gadsden's been great every week. And when they're down offensive linemen, he's even a bigger part of the offense. So I think we go with those 3 and call it a day. They're all such a big part of what their offense does. And I know Kittle has not done much lately, but again, it's just a matter of time. You don't want him on your bench when it goes up, when it happens. Mark, PPR, Swift, Monangai, or Odunze. Look, I'm going to go with Swift. As a personal matter, he's fine. He's the lead back. He's done nothing to lose his job. He has been nothing but what the Bears have asked him to be. He was great in the last 2 games he played. For that reason, I got to go with Swift in a very, very good matchup here. Odunze has just been, and again, this Bears game, and I've had questions where I've answered Odunze depending on what the matchups were and for your fantasy lineup. But this game could be a game where both teams run the ball, and there may not be a whole lot of passing. It's possible. So, yeah, I think Swift's your best call there. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Michael. Remind people to hit the like and subscribe, and I do appreciate it as well. My weekly schedule is on my X at Jim Coventry NFL. I do post that every week. I do a waiver wire video every Sunday night. It gets published on Monday. So Monday morning, I link that there. All my start sit shows, all my appearances, those are all pinned to my X every week. Again, at Jim Coventry NFL. So if you're not catching it there, that's where you can kind of know if there's any work that you want to see that you can catch up, you can check out. All right. Janet, you got Otten or Juwan Johnson. Again, there is a case that, Cade Otten could, out of the bye, see a little bit of an expanded role with the injuries. Mike Evans gone, Godwin not playing. But Juwan Johnson, again, the last 3 weeks, and with Shaheed, the wide receiver, out, I just think that his target floor has to remain high. And the Saints are passing every week. Even though they're playing Carolina, they're probably going to trail. They tend to trail most weeks. And if not, they're going to have – I just think he's the way to go there. Parker Washington or Quentin Johnston. So, again, I said earlier, Quentin Johnston, we loved him last week because Joe Alt played and said he's going to score a touchdown or get a big play, and he did. But it's really risky when Alt's up because they got to throw the ball out so fast, and that means it's just a lot of Gadsden and McConkey and Allen, and Johnston really becomes more of a dart throw. Again, Parker Washington, the slot corner for Houston's out. Coach said Washington's going to play the slot, so Washington be my call on that one. Next one. Need a tight end and possibly the rest of the season. Mason Taylor, Dalton Schultz, or Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson, he's been a nice red zone presence for them. Dalton Schultz, he's had a lot of 5-catch games, but if Stroud comes back this week, if Christian Kirk stays healthy, those targets will eventually go on. Jonathan Taylor taking over a little bit here, getting him down to the 16-yard line, 13 minutes left. Indy looking to finally cash in the red zone. Been a bit of a problem today. So, James Koh, welcome in, my friend.
What's up, Jim? How you doing, pal?
On here so I can actually hear you this time. All right, now I can hear you, James. So how are you?
Oh, Coventry and Koh back together again, and it feels so good.
Love it, sir. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to ask you this when we get to the inactives, James. Brochacho needs a tight end for today and possibly the rest of the season. Mason Taylor, Dalton Schultz, or Theo Johnson?
I'm going to lean Theo Johnson there. He's really become a go-to player, one of the go-to players. Amazingly, with Wan'Dale Robinson of all people there for New York. Jackson Dart loves throwing it to Theo Johnson, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, right in the great red zone presence, too. And they don't score a lot, but when they do, it could be some Theo Johnson. We know the running game's not getting it done. Alvin Kamara is active as expected, but Alvin Kamara, James, it's been like less than 7 PPR points the last 3 games. What are you doing with Alvin Kamara if you have to consider starting him?
I mean, it's really tough because Kellen Moore's offenses don't generally feature throwing to the running back. I mean, I just want to direct you guys back to Philadelphia last year, right? Like, we're talking about Saquon Barkley. This is a guy that could catch 90 balls, right? Like, easily. He saw 43 targets, Jim, last year. Right? So, like, it's not, again, this is and right now, Alvin Kamara is on pace for less than 65 targets on the season, right? And again, we're talking about Alvin Kamara, one of the best pass-catching running backs of all time. And he's going to see less than 70 targets in this offense as a featured player, right? So, there's not a lot of hope and optimism just because, again, I don't think Kellen Moore features an offense that throws to the running back very often. Obviously, Kamara's getting a little bit older, longer in the tooth as well. The offense overall is terrible. So, I mean, I wish I had better news. Kamara's one of my favorite players of all time. It's just right now at this point in his career, I just don't see a lot happening for him, man.
I told people to consider dropping Kamara because the reason was, do you want to have to make that decision every week to put him in your lineup? That's the problem. If he's on your roster, you almost feel compelled to start him. I get it. I told people, though, if you don't have another running back to back up, then you keep him on your roster. But
Yeah.
if you had other backup running backs, it's just getting ugly. Anyway, Ted McMillan had that hamstring injury that popped up on Friday. He is active and playing. Do you have any concerns about Ted McMillan, or would you start him as you normally would?
Jimmy, dang near gave me a heart attack. I mean, the pacing of your words, my friend. You said he had a hamstring that popped. Pause. Up on set, and I'm like, well, hold on now. Hold on now, Jimmy.
I'm scaring the
Did I
audience.
miss something? Did I miss something? You heard it here first. Jimmy said that Ted McMillan's hamstring popped. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I'm a little bit worried. There's no question. Bryce Young, I don't think is a needle mover at quarterback either. Look, I love Ted. I really do. I think he is a future superstar in this league. I really, really do. In a league with a dearth of talent at X receiver, he is a nice throwback, man, and he can play everywhere. I think Ted's a future superstar. I just in terms of this particular matchup, I am just a little bit worried here. Had that hamstring, can it pop up again here on game day? That certainly gives me some pause right there too. So I don't know. I would say in what is anticipated to be a relatively low scoring game here against New Orleans, I am a little bit worried. So I just wonder if Carolina leans on the run game here too.
Agreed on that. Now, as expected, Ramondre Stevenson's out. Last week, we saw Travion Henderson see over 75% of the snaps, 14 carries, had targets, played well. Terrell Jennings had 11 carries on basically when he was on the field, he got the ball, scored a touchdown. For Terrell Jennings, it's a horrible matchup against Tampa Bay. Running inside isn't really much of a future in that. What are you telling people who are looking at starting Travion Henderson, though, after a decent showing last week? We thought it'd be better, but it was still good enough.
Well, I think you just can't get away from the usage, right? Like 75% snap share, it's too much. I mean, when you're talking about starting running backs, anything above 60 is pretty good, right? So this guy's hitting over 75%. I mean, golly. No, it's there's just too much usage. As you mentioned, the matchup isn't great. But again, I think Tampa Bay's defense overall is not that good. So I do wonder if there'd be some more red zone opportunities here. For Travion Henderson. Now, that being said, I am a little bit nervous the fact that Terrell Jennings got a touchdown there, right? Like it's the Patriots are not scared to give him the ball in high leverage situations. That does give me some hesitation as well.
I will watch my wording here. I'm going to refer to a hamstring again. So Harold Fannin was added to the injury report midweek, but he's been cleared to play. He's playing the Jets. What are your thoughts? I've had questions about Harold Fannin today. How confident are you in Harold Fannin playing well?
I'm not confident in him playing well. If he plays, you're almost priced into playing him, right? Like, it's really hard. He sees so much volume. He's been such a good player for Cleveland. Their offense is not very good, but I just feel like he has such a nice floor if he plays. I don't know about the severity of the injury. I know he missed practice all week, finally got back on the football field in a limited capacity on Friday. So that gives me a lot of hesitation, a ton. This is not anticipated to score a lot of points. 38.5 is the over-under on this Cleveland Jets game. So again, I think points will be few and hard to come by here for Fannin. If you have a different option, I'm probably going that route. If again, I don't love Dalton Schultz either, but I might lean on Dalton Schultz here in a much better matchup than Harold Fannin with that injury.
Now, two more. DeAndre Swift had a personal issue, and he is clear to that, so he's going to play. He had a groin issue, which healed miraculously after Kyle Monangai went off against Cincinnati. But all that said, I'm getting a lot of questions about Monangai. And what I thought, James, is DeAndre Swift was playing great. He's on everything the Bears have asked him to do. And it's almost like Monangai didn't steal his job. Swift did everything the team wanted. How are you handling lineup questions with Kyle Monangai this week?
Yeah, to your point, I actually don't think Swift is fully healthy, right? Like, I think he's coming back. And to be fair, I think the same situation happened in Carolina. I think Chuba Hubbard came back, and I don't think he was 100% either. But he's like, damn, dude, Rico Dowdle's out here just stealing my job, bro. Like, I got to get back out there, man.
Yes.
And I think his performance suffered as a result of it. I don't think Swift is 100%, man. And Monangai, Listen, he is in an awesome situation. Can I give you one stat here, man? The Giants, they allow 7.3 yards per carry on outside runs to opposing running backs. That's obviously, I
Yes.
don't need to tell you this, that's the worst in the NFL by a million miles. Too, by the way, they're just not very fast to the outside. Well, here's the thing: Chicago has the second highest outside run rate in the NFL.
Yep.
Right. So again, they're running it to the outside a ton. The Giants, they can't stop outside runs. I think Monungai is going to play 50% of the snaps, even with 50% snap share in the snow. Go ahead and give it to me, man. I think Monungai's a start this week, man. Again, I'm not worried about Swift coming back. Does it lower the ceiling? Yeah, of course it does. But I think, again, at running back, bro, like, let's just get him out there, man. Let's get him going.
The last one I'm going to ask you before we get back to the questions is Justin Fields is going to be the starting quarterback. How concerned are we if somebody starts him in fantasy that if he has a bad first half that he gets benched for Tyrod Taylor?
That's my fear. That's my fear. I think Fields is only playable in a 2-quarterback superflex setup. I mean, I don't want to run a quarterback out there worried that he might get benched, right? Like, that's my big time concern. And the other thing too, Jim, it's like Tyrod Taylor's not a needle mover, but again, it's like Jacoby Brissett in Arizona. Like, I look at that situation.
Yep.
We have a professional quarterback.
Yes.
Right? Like, is Jacoby Brissett good? I don't know if he's good, but he's a professional quarterback. He's been in the league for a long time. He knows how to run the offense, and he can throw the football to every part of the football field. Is it going to be great or accurate every single time? No, absolutely not. But he could throw it wherever it needs to be thrown. Kyler Murray can't throw it to the middle intermediate. He just can't do it. In his entire career, he's never been able to do it. So Justin Fields, like, I love Justin Fields in certain areas. Deep downfield, working the boundaries, out routes, 100%. Give me Justin Fields over Tyrod Taylor every single time. But I know that Tyrod Taylor can run an offense. So I'm just very concerned that Fields may end up getting benched here. And by the way, again, 38.5 is the total on this one. Vegas is not anticipating a lot of points being scored here. So I just wonder about the touchdown upside.
No question. So those are kind of inactive, active questions. We have one super chat, then we'll get back to the mainstream here. Michael asks, picking 2, Garrett Wilson, Emeka Ibuka, Romo Dunze, and A.J. Brown. Which 2 of those you like?
Man, wow, that's a stacked wide receiver room, let me tell you. I feel like at this point you just kind of have to play Ibuka. I know he's fallen off just a little bit here, but he's, again, an integral part of that offense. Baker Mayfield, I think, is still playing pretty well. Give me Ibuka here, and honestly, I think I'm still going Odunze. I am worried about the weather. But you know what? I don't know, Jim, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but sometimes weather is such a weird thing, especially snow. Rain is different. I think rain, everyone suffers, right? But in snow, it's a little bit different where, like, sometimes the offense stinks, but, man, sometimes the defense is really hampered by the snow too, right? So, like,
100%. It's an advantage offense, James. It's an advantage offense. The offensive player knows where he's going. He can establish his footing. Defense is a reactionary position. If somebody's going to slip, it's going to be the defender usually. And one note, I'm in Chicago. It's over freezing, so it may rain, but it's not going to pile up. So it's going to be a slushy, if anything, field. That is advantage offense. One more super chat question here. Next week, pick a flex: Devontae Smith, Travis Etienne, or Travion Henderson.
Oh my gosh. I'm just going to go with the best player here, and that's Devontae Smith.
I think that's the best tiebreaker.
Yeah, right. Like, Etienne's got a terrible matchup. Henderson, again, he's going to see a ton of snaps, but I think he's still in that sleeper area for me. Devontae Smith, I think, is a rock-solid flex.
And I got all the super chat caught up there. And let's get to our next question. Let me see right here. It looks like I don't think we answered this one. No, we did. Okay. Let's see here. No, we answered that one.
Yeah. This is
and we did not answer this one. All right. Janet wants to know Otten or Juwan Johnson.
I'm gonna lean Juwan Johnson here. I think he's been the more dynamic player overall. And Tampa Bay, I don't think they have to necessarily lean on Cade Otton as I'm watching Jonathan Taylor go absolutely crazy right now.
Right.
Broke off a gigantic run there in Berlin. Huge touchdown. So congratulations to all the JT managers out there.
Yeah, that's fabulous. John, he's nearing it. He's over 200 yards, and if he yeah, he's gonna be over 200 yards on this one. I
Wow.
was a second behind on my feed, and like you said, there he goes. He had 127 before that carry, so that puts him over 200
Wow.
yards.
Oh my goodness
Wow,
gracious, dude.
JT, after last week's rough game, huge for the Colts. And then second part
Man.
of this question, James, Parker Washington or Quentin Johnston?
I'm going QJ here. Let me give you a stat here on QJ. This is really interesting. QJ, when he has faced bottom 10 fantasy points allowed defenses, he's actually scored 11 or more 11 or more PPR points in 4 of those 5 games. And Pittsburgh is absolutely atrocious on the outside. They've allowed the most receptions, yards, and fantasy points to wide receivers lined up outside. Obviously, as we know, Quentin Johnston does line up primarily outside there for the Chargers here. So, yeah, I think he's in a great spot. I really like QJ this week.
We'll do 2 more, James, and I'm going to cut you loose and let you take care of business. Hellbilly Hicksey, Andrews or Loveland. I have Derrick Henry in the lineup is wanting 2 Ravens. Which one do you like?
You've got D. Henry in the lineup, and I think Andrews has been extremely boomer bust, mostly bust, to be honest with you. I think I'm still going Loveland. I know Cole Kmet's coming back, but that's okay. There's a little bit of weather concern. But shoot, you know what? If you got that weather concern, man, what do? You got to check it down to that tight end, baby.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go. I think Loveland is the play here.
All right, I'll give one more here, and then I don't know how to say the names. So I'm just going to read the question. Shout out from Wyoming. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Running back in a flex full PPR, ETN, Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen. So which 2 do you like? But one has to be a running back.
What's up, Wyoming? How you doing? I think I'm gonna try this name, Shea Ambrose. And he's got that and he's got a great avatar as well. Yeah, that's Dana Harvey, baby. Let's go. One running back, one flex. I am gonna go Travis Etienne. I think I'm just tired of waiting for Kenneth Walker at this point. I love Kenneth Walker, very talented player, but for whatever reason, they're just not utilizing him in Seattle, man. It absolutely drives me crazy. And Seattle's doing a lot of great things offensively, man. Like, why can't they just figure out this running back situation for me?
I know.
Anyways, okay, so I'm going to go ETN here because he's the lead dog. Terrible matchup against Houston, but whatever. Who cares? We're still going with ETN. And then I think very clearly it's DK Metcalf for me. Keenan Allen has taken a back seat, man. Like, his snap share has plummeted over the last 2 weeks, man. Like, I can't trust the snap share, bro. Go ahead and give me DK Metcalf.
I'll drop this next question on for you. James Koh, awesome to work with you. I know you'll crush it the rest of the way. Everybody out there, including James Koh, have a great week 10, and I'll see everybody next week.
Let's go. See you, Jim.
All right.
Oh, the great Jim Coventry right there. Delroy Scarlett, what's up? Full PPR 2, start 2, Jalen Coker, Demario Douglas, Christian Kirk. It's a rough group. You're my boy, though. You're one of my people, man. We're in the dregs together. Let's go. Hey, give me Jalen Coker right here. If Ted McMillan is compromised health-wise, then they'll lean on Coker just a little bit more. I think he might see a couple more targets in this ball game. Again, I don't love the matchup, obviously, but I do like the player. I think Coker's pretty good. Give me Coker. If I got to start a second one here, I will very tepidly say Demario Douglas. Kayshon Boutte is out. Will that allow Stephon Diggs to play a little bit more outside? And if Diggs plays a little bit more outside, is there a trickle-down effect here for Demario Douglas to play inside? That's what I'm hoping will happen. So give me Jalen Coker and Demario Douglas. Although, if you need a deep sleeper, I am really interested in this Kyle Williams character in New England as well. So I don't know. We'll see. This is from Lee. JJ McCarthy, Mariota, Jacoby Brissett. What do my numbers tell me here? My initial reaction is Brissett, but let me just go ahead and look real quick. I got some stuff here for you. My initial call is Brissett because I think they'll be trailing. And I know Seattle's defense is really good, but again, in a trailing game script, maybe Brissett has to air it out just a little bit more. Um, I don't know about Mariota, man. Mariota has got me a little confused. I know he's on a lot of people's sleepers list, but I could see him falling apart against Detroit, man. I don't know. I think that pass rush can get home, and once it does, Mariota's in big time trouble here. So give me Minnesota's. Oh my gosh, Minnesota's in an interesting spot against Baltimore at home. You know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to actually say the riskiest of the three is J.J. McCarthy. That's the riskiest of the three. But Baltimore's been terrible defensively this year. They made a bunch of trades. Maybe it ends up working for them. I still think Brissett might be your safest call here. J.J. McCarthy obviously has the upside with the rushing ability and the paper matchup against the Ravens. So those would be my two calls here. I don't like Mariota. I think Detroit's pass rush gets home. So to me, it's either you want a safer floor with Brissett or do you want upside with McCarthy, Lee? So go ahead. I'll leave it up to you, man. Make that call. Lions or Browns defense? Yeah, we just talked about how the Lions might get home against Mariota. And obviously their offense is very stripped down right now, bereft of a lot of playmakers. For sure is Washington. So I kind of sort of like Detroit here. They really do get after it defensively. The Browns defense is really, really good too, but their offense doesn't give them any help, right? So I'm going to go Detroit. I think I'm going to go Detroit right there. Andre Aravalo. I like it. David Njoku, Mason Taylor. Oh, Mason Taylor. David Njoku is, I don't want to say he's the backup, but he's the backup. For fantasy purposes, he's the backup. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, let's Delroy, let's go Mason Taylor right there. Pedro Resto. Oh, a very active member of the chat always, which I appreciate, man. Talking to Jim here. I'll try my best to fill in for Jim, but I'm James. I can go by Jim. Why not? Why not, y'all? Jim, try my best to figure out who is Jay Taylor's handcuff. Any insight? Nah, man. There's no insight here, man. There really isn't. I've tried to figure this out. You know, I've tried to figure this one out, and I just don't know. I have no clue who it is. They've got Amir Abdullah. They've got Tyler Goodson. They've got a rookie in there as well. It's just good luck trying to figure that out, brother. I wish I had some insight here for you. If I had to lean anywhere, man, it might be, Goodson. I'd have to lean Goodson, but that's again, I don't have a great feel for this, man. Maybe it's DJ Giddens, maybe. But again, if JT goes down, I think it's going to be a full-on three-way timeshare. I don't think there's a lot of upside actually in the handcuff here in Indianapolis. That would just be my thought. Okay. Looks like we got a super chat question here. Let me figure out. Okay, good. Super chat. Let's go. This is from Mr. Tres Cerro Cinco. Oh, Mr. Miami's in the building, baby. What's up, man? How you guys doing? Full point PPR. I got to pick one. Oh, I got to pick one of an absolutely disgusting group. I love it. Wait, who is Tucker? Who is? I'm confused by the Tucker question. I can only think of Trey Tucker. Is there another Tucker that I'm missing here? Trey Tucker already played though. I'm so confused by this last one. Who is Tucker, my guy? Okay, so if I had to pick just one of this absolutely disgusting group, give me Terrell Jennings. He at least has the best path to play time. And again, they're not scared to use him in the red zone either. He's also attached, I think, in my opinion, Blake Corum is attached to the best offense, but Jennings is attached to a pretty good offense as well. The only problem with Corum, man, like they just don't. Like, what's the touchdown upside? Nothing. It's like nothing for Blake Corum. I don't know. I'm gonna go Jennings there if I had to pick one. Does PPR change anything for me? Not really. I don't know. And again, I know you guys love tooting. Honestly, we're talking about handcuffs. Like, tell me why LaQuint Allen isn't the handcuff. He plays more. He plays more than Bashal Tootin, man. Like, what? Everyone's so confident that Tootin is the handcuff. Like, I'm not confident. I am not confident. I'm not saying it's not him. I'm just saying I'm not confident. Everyone just with their chest out saying, oh, it's Bashal Tootin. He's the handcuff in Jacksonville. Really? Y'all been watching Jacksonville football? Because LaQuint Allen's out there, y'all. I don't know, man. It's a little crazy. Anyways, I hope that helped. Oh, my gosh. We got another super chat question. What's up? What's going on with this? Okay, let's go. Thomas Colucci. I'm like 90% confident I got it. Thomas Colucci. Man, cool name, bro. You could be in Sopranos right now. Thomas. Oh, old Tommy Colucci. Tommy Colucci. Okay, anyway. PPR. Need one. Swift. Hall. Hendo. Dude, I'm going Swift here. Well, I want, look, here's when I saw that, my initial gut reaction is like, how are we sitting down Brees? We can't sit down Brees. I'm still going to go Brees Hall. Swift has got the best matchup. Henderson has the best play time, right? That's why you're in a conundrum here, and I don't blame you, man. But Swift, Hall, or Henderson, I think I will actually lean upon Hall. I don't know. If they don't trust the quarterback situation right now, will they just go with Hall, just lean on him just a little bit? I think so. I'm going to go Hall right here. He's the best player of this group. No question in my mind. He's the best player of this group. And sometimes I think maybe that's just the way we go. So go ahead and give me Hall right here. I don't have a great read on this because they all have their pluses, right? Again, Swift best matchup, Hall best player, Henderson best snap share. But man, I will go ahead and take Hall. That being said, I just want you to know I love Brees Hall. I just think a good ass player, man. I love Brees Hall. I'm gonna go Brees Hall right there, Tommy. Okay, let's go. Where are we, y'all? I don't even know where we are. Shoot, man. Where are we at in the chat, dog? Hold on. Oh, here we are. Okay, we're good. Swift or Rachaad White? I'm going to go Rachaad White in PPR. Jeff, let's go Rachaad White. He's got the path to the most play time. He is attached to a better offense, in my opinion, in Tampa Bay. Swift, again, beautiful matchup against the Giants. But how healthy is he? How much is, again, if they're doing the whole hot hand thing, right? Like, how much is Monangai going to play as well? Ben, Rolla, good morning. Kincaid or Kittle, full point PPR? I can't get away from Kittle. Kincaid just doesn't play enough for me. That makes it a little bit dangerous. He's obviously in a better offense in Buffalo, but I'll still take Kittle. Kittle's a better player, too. I don't care what nobody tells me. People love Kincaid. That's great. Kittle's a better player, period. Jay Cooper. Jay Cooper, what's up? Actually, it'd be funny if your name was JC Oop. Anyways, whatever. Hurts or May, half-point PPR. I love the half-point PPR. I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make, Jay. But you know what? Go ahead. Oh, my gosh. My initial reaction, obviously, is that, man, we got a straight-up shootout going on in Atlanta, Indianapolis right now. I love this. Let's go. Okay, my initial reaction was we got to play Hurts. It's on Monday night. It's in Green Bay. So that one gives me a little bit of pause. But I just don't think Green Bay. All right. You know what? Let me look at the over-under. Okay, so the over-under on the Philly Green Bay game is 44.5. Okay, so that's one. On the New England side, it's 48.5. Philadelphia has an implied total of 21, and New England has an implied total of 23. I think New England's your way to go. A little bit, slightly more touchdown upside. Tampa Bay's pass defense is not good. I'll go Drake May right here. I don't have a great read on that. My initial reaction was you just can't sit down Jalen Hurts, but again, Green Bay's got a pretty good defense, and Green Bay at home is a little bit tougher as well. Man, Jalen Hurts, though, in prime time does play really, really well. I am torn up about this one, man. I am torn up. I am going to very tentatively still stick with Drake May. I just don't have a great. I just do not have a great read on that one, though. Okay. I just reached into my inner zen real quick, and I'm gonna actually say Hurts. I'm just gonna say Hurts. I don't know why. I have a better feeling about Hurts in that one than I do about May. Man, I hope I'm not wrong there. Jay, I hope I'm not wrong, brother. James, strong name, bro. Woody Marks, Tez Johnson. I like Woody Marks right here. Jacksonville's defense not very good. He's the pass catcher too, so go ahead and give me Woody Marks. I think he gives you a better floor and similar upside, to be honest with you, with Tez Johnson as well. In that situation, go ahead and give me Woody Marks. Legacy, start two. Travion Henderson, Tet McMillan, Rome Odunze, PPR. I am worried about this hamstring injury for Tet. He was very questionable coming in. Maybe I'm wrong, dude. I don't know what's going on there. But go ahead and give me Travion Henderson. He's going to get a ton of play time. Rome Odunze, too good of a player. I'll take Travion and Rome Odunze. The weather there really does upset me, but or could upset me here. But the bottom line is, it's a great matchup too. The Giants really are just not good defensively here. Okay, we're going to Geo, Loveland or Johnson. Cole Kmet is back. Cole Kmet is back for Chicago. Juwan Johnson, Rashid Shaheed is gone. Juwan Johnson, I think they might just lean on. And by the way, guys, yo, help a brother out, man. Like, don't just throw out Johnson. Like, Gio, no shade, man, but like Johnson, like, oh, Johnson or Jones? Who are we talking about, bro? I don't know. I'm assuming because you said Loveland, we're talking about tight end. I'm assuming you're talking about Juwan Johnson here. But I don't know. It could be a flex. But dude, there's so many Johnsons, man. Like, what are we doing out here, y'all? Help me, help y'all. You know what I mean? Like, can I get like even like an initial? You know what I mean? Like, somebody throws out Warren. Like, bro, there's multiple Warrens. Right? Like, come on, man. Like, help me out, bro. Like, and like, here's the other thing. Like, if you really want your question answered quickly, throw the matchup in there too. Takes you 2 seconds, right? Like, and then I don't have to go and look, okay, what's the matchup here? I'm juggling, 32 teams in my mind, bro. Dude, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let's go. OMG, it's Sleek. What's up, Sleek? Start 2, full point PPR. Manung guy. Yeah, I want to start him. I want to start Vidal, too. Okay, so I want to start Vidal. I think he has a really nice bounce-back week this week. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure why I think that. I just think that. Okay, so Vidal, he's a good player, and the offense is good, too. So go ahead and give me Vidal right there for one, for sure. And then, again, I'm tired of waiting on K9, man. I'm just tired of waiting on Kenneth Walker. I still think it's Manung guy. Give me Vidal and Manung there. I think that's where I am leaning. Oh, we got some super chats coming in. Let's go. We're going to go here. Let's go. Where are we going? Okay. We got this guy right here. GK. What's your avatar, bro? I can't even tell. What's an old man wearing a cowboy hat or something? I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. PPR and points per carry. Okay. I'm not in too many points per carry leagues. I like it, though. I like it. Okay, we got Woody Marks, Zach Charbonnet, or Vidal. You're leaning Charbs? Really? Look, I get that you get points per carry. He gets no work in the pass game, and he has literally done nothing without a touchdown. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm the guy that tells you to go with the guy that you are feeling. I'm always that guy. Like, don't listen to some rando on the internet manage your fantasy football team. If you have a feeling about Charbs, go play Charbs. That being said, when you present me these 3 options, he comes in last for me. And it's because he has had an insane run of touchdown scoring, like a crazy run. But if you go back and look, when he does not score a touchdown, he's given you literally like nothing. He doesn't catch passes, and he's not efficient on the ground, so he doesn't get you yards. I don't know, man. Like, his only value is touchdowns. His only value is touchdowns, man. Like, I don't know. So, again, if you're leaning that way, play Charbs. I don't want to like dissuade you from playing a guy that you're leaning towards, so go that direction. But if I had to pick, if this was my personal fantasy team, I would play Vidal and I would sleep like a baby. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would sleep like a baby playing Vidal right there. That's just me, though. Again, I don't want to, take you off of your gut call. But again, if you're leaning gut call Charbs, man, go get that Pokemon, baby. Let's play Charbazard. Okay. Where are we at in the chat? I don't want to mess this up, but I think we're okay. Pedro Resto. Jim, advice, information, awesome. I agree. He's the best. Jim is the best. I'm just keeping the seat warm for him, dude. You know what I mean? John, are you bright? I don't know. Am I? I don't know. Which two running backs would you start? Vidal, Travion, or Jordan Mason? Oh, first two, easily. Jordan Mason is on the backside of that Minnesota running back core. Now, again, I don't know how much Aaron Jones is going to play, but shoot, man, when he got on the when he starts, like he starts, like he's playing 65% of the snaps. Jordan Mason going to play 35%. The shoulder injury obviously is interesting because it's not his lower body. But that being said, any hard hit to Aaron Jones could force him out of the football game. Like, that's a little crazy for me, a little disturbing. I've got Aaron Jones. I'm playing him just because it's running back. I'm in a 14-team league. I don't know what else to do. But if I were you, I would play Vidal and Travion Henderson. Those would be my two starts. And I'd say with like confidence. I feel confident about those two over Jordan Mason. All right, King EZ. What's up, brother? Oh, I love the Wolverine avatar, bro. That is nice. Let's go. Dave and Joku, Bam Knight, Jordan Mason, Cedric Tillman, start one. I'm not starting Tillman, just coming off of IR. I don't think he has any reps with Dylan Gabriel. And Dylan Gabriel literally can't throw it downfield, and that's where Cedric Tillman plays kind of sort of well. So I will take him out of the equation. I will take... Your punctuation has me confused too. It's Jordan, comma Mason. Is there another Jordan that I'm not thinking of? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I am gonna lean. I believe I am going to lean Bam Knight here. Let me think about this one real quick, man. This is an ugly group. Man. Okay, you know what? Actually, hold on now. Check that. Playing Seattle. Seattle's good defensively. Even in a trailing game script, I actually don't think they use Bam Knight. I actually think it might be Amari DiMercado. Jordan Mason's interesting, but again, more of a bench player. I just don't want to play Cedric Tillman, man. But he is calling to me the most. Oh God, dude, this is tough. You know what? I'm still going to say Bam Knight. He's the nominal starter there for Arizona. I hate the matchup against Seattle, but again, David Njoku is the backup tight end for fantasy purposes. Like I said, Jordan Mason is the backup straight up. Cedric Tillman is in a horrible offense, and Dylan Gabriel cannot throw it downfield. So tough group, but I'll take Bam Knight. Bill Cosby's Cup, dude. That's wild, dog. You need that, no. Come on, man. Nah, man, that is out of line, bro. That is out of line. Bill Cosby's Cup. Oh my God, who's in your avatar, my guy? Is that Lil Wayne? I can't even tell, bro. It's too small for me. You need to change your screen name, dog. Like that's out of line, but that's out of pocket, dude. I'll still answer your question though. Need two wide receivers, full point PPR: Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown, Jalen Waddle. Give me Garrett Wilson, and I will take. Who's mine playing? Buffalo? Oh hell no, dude. I'll take AJ Brown. I'll take AJ Brown right there. I don't feel great about that. Let me tell you right now, I don't feel great about it. I don't at all. Yeah, but I'm still going Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown. Jalen Waddle's really, really interesting, but they're playing Buffalo, and dude, I don't know. I feel like that one's a little bit of a blowout. Maybe Jalen Waddle gets there on the back end in garbage time, maybe. But I don't have a great feeling about that. The Tua absolutely is atrocious against Buffalo. I mean, atrocious against Buffalo. By the way, if we're betting here, give me Buffalo all the way, dude. What's the spread now? 9.5, might even be 10 right now. I don't care. Buffalo's gonna. I personally think Buffalo's gonna wax Miami. Yeah, that's just my thought there. I don't know. I don't love Jalen Waddle here, but yeah, give me Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown. That'd be my initial thought. Man, we're going to overtime here, bro. Okay, let's go. I like it. Jose Avalos, what's up? At running back, you've got Swift, Travion Henderson, Monungai, Tracy, Rashad White. Who should I start the flex? I'm starting Rashad White. Again, if I'm not going White, I might go Monungai here. Swift, I'm worried about the injury. Tymon Tracy, I don't even think he's a starter. Maybe, possibly, who knows? Travion Henderson, they take him out in goal line situations sometimes, and yeah, I don't feel great about that. I think Rashad White or Monungai is probably my call. Rashad White, I'm feeling pretty good about. Tampa Bay, again, has a pretty good offense. Rashad White has been a trusted contributor for that offense as well. Go ahead and give me Rashad White. Jose Avalos at quarterback. Who do I start? Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold. I'm probably starting Sammy D. Give me Sam Darnold, I think. Arizona, I think, has been an interesting defense, but, I mean, again, I think they can be beat on the back end. Look, if you look at the FPA, like, they've been, like, good against quarterbacks, but I don't know how. When I watch them play, I'm like, Arizona can't defend. Like, what is going on? Like, why don't they attack them? Like, I'm just so confused by this whole situation. But their FPA numbers are pretty good overall. But yeah, I think I still go Sammy Darnold here. Caleb Williams in the snow. We're talking about Caleb Williams. I don't know how good he is in weather, man, but I'll take Sam Darnold right here. Who scores the touchdown, Swift or the money man or money guy? It's funny, but that's a pretty good one. I've been calling him Mono Man, Monungai. Who scores the touchdown? I'm gonna say Monungai, dude. That's my thought. Jeff Sills, Aronde Gadsden, Vidal, or McMillan. Tet's dealing with that injury. I'll take him out of that equation. So it's either Gadsden or Vidal for me. And honestly, again, I just feel like Vidal is going to have a great game. It's really hard when I think Vidal is a good player and he's playing a good offense. The offensive line obviously is a little bit in shambles, which has me a little bit concerned too. But that being said, overall, I think they're in a really good spot against Pittsburgh. So I will say Vidal, but I will not blame you if you play Gadsden. Let me just say this. I think Gadsden has better upside than Vidal. So if you want to chase some points, place Gadsden. But I think if you want a little bit of a better floor, I will take Kamani Vidal. So if you want some points, go give me Gadsden right there. Okay. Now, no way it's Jay. I like the screen name. No way it's Jay. Jacoby or Fields? Oh, Jacoby. Bro, I don't know. Look, I don't know if Fields is going to get benched, man. Like, where are we at with that, dude? Like, he might get benched midway, no? Shoot, I don't know, man. It's weird, too, because I feel like every time Justin Fields has his back against the wall, he just balls out. Is his back against the wall right here? I don't know, dude. Okay, so I'm going to say Jacoby. Don't hate me if Fields goes crazy, though, because I don't know. There's just no way to know what the hell he's going to do. Terminal Sarcasm. Man, that's an awesome screen name. Holy shoot, that's great. DeMercado or Alvin Kamara. Wow. That's how far it's come with Alvin Kamara. You're wondering whether to play Alvin Kamara or the backup running back there in Arizona who legitimately might not play. Shoot, man. I'm going to say Kamara. The funny thing about DeMercado is is he going to play? You can just never tell. Oh my gosh. Let me pull up his numbers, bro. He's the craziest player. He really is. Okay. Last week he played 30 snaps and got 14 carries for 79. Right? What is it? Week 7? Oh gosh, where am I at, dude? Were they on a bye that week? They might have been on a bye. Anyways, week 6 though, 1 carry for 1 yard. Week 5, 81 yards. Week 4, 8 yards on the ground. What? It's 881, 179. What is that, dude? I have no idea what to do with this dude. And the crazy thing is, he has been a pass catcher his entire career. Guess what? They don't throw him the ball. They never throw him the ball. It's crazy. This is over his last 5 games. 1, 2 targets, 0, 1, 1. So he's had 1 or fewer targets in 4 of his last 5 games. That's crazy talk to me. What? That's insane. So they don't throw him the ball in PPR. And then who the hell knows what they're going to do on the ground with him, bro? I don't know, dude. I'm still going to go Kamara here, man. That's too much volatility, man. I can't handle it, dude. That is way, way too much volatility for me. Okay. KJ Frederick. Should I play Slayton in a bad weather game or pivot to Pop Douglas, full point PPR? I am going to say Pop Douglas. Because again, Kayshon Boutte is out, and I know he plays exclusively outside. That's why I've got Kyle Williams as a sleeper, but there's a decent chance. There is a decent chance that Steph Diggs now slides to the outside, opening the door for Pop Douglas to play a lot more snaps, right? So, and that's really just been Pop Douglas's problem. He just doesn't play. He's just not on the football field. He's been below 50% snap. I think he's been below 40% snap share every single game except week number 1. But if he can get over 50%, 55, 60%, which I think he will in this ball game, he's attached to a good offense, good quarterback. Yeah, give me Pop Douglas. Why not? 100%. Here's the thing about Slayton, too. Jackson Dart is the most vibiest quarterback of all time. I think he's been fine. He's been exciting. Let me just say that. Jackson Dart has been exciting. But let me pull it. Does he have a 220-yard passing game? Jackson Dart. Does he? Has he thrown for 250? Has he thrown for 200? Okay. So he has a 283-yard game against Denver, of all places, which is absolutely bonkers and insane. But he has thrown for 202 yards or less in, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6 games. That's crazy. He's been below 200 yards passing in 3 of 5. But again, 4 of 5, 202 or below, right? So what I'm saying there is this is not a lot of meat on the bone from a passing perspective. Wandale's going to get his. Theo Johnson's going to get his. Again, there's just not a lot on the table here for Darius Slayton. So I would just say, yeah, man, I would say, give me Pop Douglas right here. Okay. You asked it twice. All right, cool. No way it's Jay, Harrison, or AJ. Harrison? Am I tripping? Who the hell are we talking about? Harrison or QJ? Dog, who are we talking, dude? Dude, my brain's not working right now. I have no idea who you're talking about, dude. Giants have given up 6 touchdowns to tight ends. Uncle Ted dropping some knowledge. Okay, I don't know. Okay, a bunch of other. Okay, here we go. Should I play Debo over Marv or QJ? Debo's a little banged up, no? But nah, I'm gonna say no. Even if he's healthy, I'm gonna say no. With Marcus Mariota, nah, I'm good. Give me Marv with Brissett, who's been playing really well. QJ in a great matchup against Pittsburgh, playing with Justin Herbert. I'll take both of those guys easily over Debo Samuel. Francisco Marquez, Jameson Williams or Keenan Allen, full point PPR. Jameson Williams or Keenan Allen. My brain's still tripping. Like, who the hell are we talking about? Harrison. Oh, you're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, now I got it. Let me go back to that question. Marvin Harrison or QJ? Dude, guys, this is why full names, man. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah. Anyways, okay, Marvin Harrison or QJ? I will say Harrison is got a much safer floor, and I think he has similar upside. I'm going to go Marvin Harrison right there. Even though Quentin Johnson has a excellent matchup against Pittsburgh, I'll say Marvin Harrison right there. Jameson Williams or Keenan Allen, full point PPR from Francisco Marquez. God, both of these guys are incredibly volatile. I will God. I'm going to say Keenan. I don't love it, but I will say Keenan. Again, better matchup against Pittsburgh. Detroit is taking on Washington. If Detroit gets out early, Washington, I don't think has really any comeback ability here. So maybe Jameson just gets iced out again. Here's the problem with Jameson. He needs one play. That's it. One play. He needs one deep crosser where he just rips it 50 yards to the cribbo, and all of a sudden he's good. So I don't know. I'm going to say Keenan Allen, even though his timeshare has been dwindling. I think overall they need, they need quick separators, and I think it might be Keenan. I don't, dude, guys, that's crazy volatile question. You know what I mean? So I'm going to lean Keenan Allen right there. Okay, here we go. You want to handcuff add Phil Maffa in Dallas. Yeah, interesting call. I like it. Yeah, I know, right? Like Jones or Smith, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, what are we talking? You know what I mean? Like, I get, yeah, Dan. Like, as a fantasy guy, like, yo, I get these questions a lot. I'm like, dog, I have no idea who the hell you're talking about, man. Okay. What is this? Giles Sadie? Giles Daly? I'm not sure. Is that the He-Man avatar? That's cool, man. Vidal or Wandale? I'm going Vidal here. Wandale has been great, though. Wandale has been really, really good. Dude, the guy's averaging over 8 targets a game with Jackson Dart, man. Like, he is the go-to receiver for New York. So I'll just say this. If you want floor, Wandale is your guy, man. Like, he will 100% get you, a 9-point floor. 100%. And now it just becomes a question of, can he get the yardage to get you over 9, or can he get a touchdown to get you over 9? So for me, I want to chase that Vidal upside. But again, if you want a little bit of floor, way better floor than Vidal, give me Wandale. I love Robinson's matchup, but Vidal has a decent one too. Yeah, right? Like, he's got a decent one, man. Like, it's okay. Again, I'm leaning Vidal right there, but Wandale is a much safer play, dude. Okay, where are we at? I feel like I'm catching up, dude. Guys, come on now. I told y'all last week I'm going to do a better job answering questions. Here I am. Let's go. If y'all got questions, throw them into the chat, man. Monungai or Vidal in PPR? I still feel like it's going to be Vidal, but I am really interested in Monungai. Great matchup for sure. Hold on. Okay. Wait, what's going on here? Okay, wait, hold on. Sorry, chat. Hold on. Okay, I take care of that very, very quickly. Okay, okay, we got like I said, I like Vidal. I think I'm leaning on this one, Ben. But again, Manungai's got the best matchup on the board. So if we're chasing upside, and honestly, you might be, it's going to be Manungai. You know what I'm saying? So this one's a 50-50 toss-up for me, man, but I'm okay playing either one. Honestly, man, I kind of want to chase that upside with Manungai, though. I feel like he could have a crazy good game. Okay, this is from KJ Frederick. Charbs or Vidal? Man, Vidal for me. Easily. Maybe I'm a Charbonnet hater, bro. But I'm telling you, when he doesn't score a touchdown, he's terrible. Like, it's so bad. Do y'all remember that one game where he had 15 carries for 10 yards and that was it? That's all he gave you in fantasy. The dude had 15 carries and gave you 10 yards. That's crazy. They don't throw to him. He's not efficient on the ground. But, man, I tell you what, they go goal to go. They start bringing in Charbonnet, bro. It's so crazy. But, yeah, that's my thought there. Give me Vidal. Much safer play. The touchdown luck has to stop at some point, dude. Like, he has way too many. He's got 6 touchdowns. What? He's on pace for like 15 touchdowns, dog. Like, no, dude, that's stupid. I'm exaggerating, but still, come on, man. Like, Charbonnet's not going to finish the year with 12 to 15 touchdowns. That's crazy. Is he? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Sorry for so many questions. You don't need to apologize. That's the whole point of the stream. Is ask the questions. I mean, shoot, we got 5 guys asking all the questions. Chat, where y'all at? Chat, where you guys at, man? You guys letting Delroy Scarlett dominate the chat? Come on, man. Get your questions out there, bro. Okay, no need to apologize for asking questions, though. Will the Chargers be getting some of their O linemen back today? No. But they did make a trade for an offensive lineman. I don't know how good that offensive lineman's going to be, but they did make a trade for him. Healthy enough to play minus alt. You have alt, but I think you meant alt, which is fine. Yeah, their offensive line's tattered. It's brutalized. So that does give me a little bit of worry. But honestly, I kind of just trust Jim Harbaugh. I kind of sort of think Jim will figure it out, to be honest with you. He's an offensive line guy, you know? And I know their offensive line has been, beat up a little bit, but he's got a full week to get his guys ready. I think he'll get them ready. Harlington Rodriguez. I saw you on Twitter the other night, man. Good to see you, pal. Colts played early today. I was going to ask Kamani Vidal or Alec Pierce for the flex. Well, shoot, I hope you played Alec Pierce. Oh, my God. Dude, John Taylor gets in there again? Yo. Congratulations to all the JT managers. Good luck if you're playing Jonathan Taylor. Good luck. Damn. That's crazy. Aiden Galagos, what's up, brother? Good to see you, pal. 1 running back, 1 flex. Rashad White against New England. See, perfect question. This is my guy right here, Aiden Galagos. He's been in enough of my streams. He knows what's up. Rashad White versus New England. I like that. Olave versus Carolina. It's okay. Montgomery at Washington. So, okay, 1 running back, 1 flex. I will stick Rashad White in there. I feel pretty confident about that. So give me Rashad White. That's good. So now I'm just choosing between Olave and Montgomery. I'm going to say Olave. The targets are there, obviously, and I don't know if the touchdowns will be there, but the PPR, volume is just too high, I think, for Olave. I don't love it, But it's not like Carolina's a shutdown defense. Let's be real here, okay? So go ahead and give me Rashad White and Olave. By the way, guys, I do wonder if Shuck has a better game. Like, he was, like, very blah in his first game. But, dude, that's his first NFL game. Kellen Moore's a pretty good offensive guy here. Shuck, I think, at least exhibited some arm talent. So we'll go, dude. We will go. Harleton Sleepers! All right, let's go. We've got some early games today. We do indeed, my friend. And Jonathan Taylor, Alec Pierce, they went crazy. Jonathan Taylor just putting teams on his back right now. Let's go. Desperate play from Kells. You need an RB2. Blake Corum or Terrell Jennings. I'm going Jennings here. I think he's got better touchdown upside. They both play about the same amount of snaps, anywhere between 25 to 30% of the snaps. So we're really not getting more play time. But I do think that Terrell Jennings has more trust from the coaching staff in terms of getting it done around the goal line. We got 10 minutes to go, y'all. This is a Matt Collins game. Yeah, I don't know about that one there, Uncle Ted. I hear you, though. I hear you. Could be. Morning, full point PPR. Need one running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Okay. This is from Ronnie Daniel. Okay, my guy. So basically, I got to set your whole lineup. I got to set your whole lineup, bro. Okay. ETN, Swift, Monty, Flowers, Olave, MHJ, JMO. Oh, my gosh, dude. Hey, bro. Hey, listen. Just, again, if y'all want me to help you quicker, these questions got to be shortened up, bro. Like, I know for a fact you're not debating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. You're not. You're just not. You're not debating 7 guys. No one is. You've got. I bet you've got 5 of those guys locked in right now, and you're really picking between 2 or 3. I'm just saying. Do a little bit of the work, and I'll push you across the finish line. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But I will answer the question though, Ronnie. Okay, at running back. Go ahead and give me ETN, right? I'm good there. 2 wide receivers. Got to play Zay Flowers. We got to play Marvin Harrison Jr. And then the flex, give me a Olave, bro. We're set. I think ETN at running back, we're going to go Flowers, Olave, MHJ. Let's go. Full point PPR. No question. Feeling it. If Dart could throw it to himself, he'd have a 400 game. He's the most interesting man in the world. Jackson Dart's a walking Dos Equis ad, bro. 100%. 100%. All right, Aiden, in a different league, Olave at Carolina, QJ, Pittsburgh. Man. Okay, so Olave for floor, because, again, PPR, he's 100% like the PPR guy. Quentin Johnston, though, upside for days. Upside for days. I'm still going to go Olave here. Better player, more volume, and I do think he punches it in this week. I don't know, man. I don't know why. I just feel like Olave is going to score. That's just my thought. All right, Arthur Nunez, start 3. Swift, Monungai, Jacobs. Well, we're playing Jacobs 100% for sure. And we're going to play Monungai, so we've got 2. You can't play Monungai and Swift. So that doesn't make sense. So Monungai, Jacobs, 1, 2. And then for my third one, god damn, dude. Third one, I'm going to play Kamara. Third one, I'll play Kamara. I don't feel great about that. I feel like the chat's going to tell you to play Charbs, though. The chat might tell you to play Charbs. I think most, actually, to be honest with you, Arthur, I'm going to be 100% real. I think most analysts would actually tell you to play Charbs. But my thought of just like, this guy cannot get away with this touchdown scam for this long. That's just my whole thought process. Dude, if he scores a touchdown again, you're going to hate me and he's going to be fine. He'll score like 11 points. But I'm going to go Monungai, Jacobs, Kamara. Ooh, God. I don't feel great about it. I really, really don't. But those are my 3 right there. KJ Frederick, Debo, Tyrone Tracy. I'm going to go Tracy. Like, I know that it was a 50-50 split and that Devin Singletary got more carries than him last week. Guys, Tracy's just a straight up better player, though. Like, yeah, I just think he's a better player. Like, he's going to get going here. To me, I just think he's going to get going. Give me Tyrone Tracy. Screw it, man. Tierra Diaz, what's up, dude? Let's go. This guy's in movies, y'all. Y'all didn't know he's got an IMDb page. Tierra Diaz, man, gracing us with his Hollywood celebrity status here, bro. Appreciate you. McCarthy or Fields? Again, I'm gonna go McCarthy. I don't love it because again, he's not that good. But Fields, I'm so scared of him getting benched, man. I don't know. Look, again, if we're talking just pure upside, Fields, obviously. The guy could break off an 80-yard run. You know? McCarthy's got wheels. He's not breaking off an 80-yard run, though. You know? I don't know. I'm going to say McCarthy. I don't feel great about it. I don't. But I also don't feel great about Fields either. So yeah, just go ahead and give me McCarthy right there. Again, I don't have the greatest read on that. Sarah Densmore. Man, Sarah Densmore sounds like, I don't know, like some kind of like warrior princess in like Game of Thrones or something. You know what I mean? Sarah Densmore. PPR tight end, Otten or Andrews? Oh, man. Dude, here's the thing with Otten. I don't think he's got great upside. Andrews has a way worse floor, though. Andrews could get you 2. That being said, what is the upside with Otten? Nothing. There is no upside with Otten. Screw it. Give me Andrews. Again, this is very volatile. Mark Andrews has been extraordinarily volatile here. I don't have time to look it up, but yeah. But I will take Andrews, though. Very tentatively, I'll take Andrews because, shoot, let me at least chase some upside. I don't think either one of these guys is going to, you know, like I said, the floor is scary for both. Papa Greco, what's up, man? Michael Paulo Greco, what's going on, brother? Jalen Warren against the Chargers or Swift or Monungai against the Giants. You got to pick one. I'm going to pick Monungai. Monungai's my guy. He's my guy, the Mono Man. The Mono Man is my guy this week. The Giants, again, let me just reiterate this. The Giants have allowed 7.3 yards per carry on outside runs to opposing running backs. It's worse than the NFL. They're dead last in yards before contact, dead last in yards after contact allowed on these runs. Monungai runs it primarily to the outside. Chicago has the second highest outside run rate in the NFL. Give me Monungai. I don't care that Swift is coming back. I don't. I think Monungai will be fine. Raw G. Yeah, Raw G. Half PPR, Aaron Jones, McMillan, Tez Johnson, Hurts, or Stanford. Hurts or Stanford? Who the hell is Stanford? I'm so confused. Who is Stanford? Aaron Jones is banged up. Don't trust that hamstring. Tet's hurt, banged up. Not sure I trust that hamstring. I think Tez Johnson might be your guy. Hey, you know what's... Oh, man. Maybe Tez Johnson's your guy. I'm going to say Tez. Those other two guys are hurt. I'll say this. I have Aaron Jones, and I am playing him because I think there's something there. But again, I don't love it. Man, Jonathan Taylor, bro, 244 on the ground, 3 touchdowns, and 42 yards receiving with throw. Oh, my God. Wow. That's got to be up there in terms of all-time fantasy production. Has to be. I'm going to go Tez Johnson. Hurts or, okay, Stafford. Hurts or Stafford? Again, I'm going to go Hurts. I'll go Hurts right there. This is the last question, y'all. Addison, QJ, or Moore? I trust Addison the most. QJ has the best upside, but I trust Addison the most. Go ahead and give me Addison. Okay, man, you guys are the best, man. I think we got through them all. That was pretty good. Look at me. Look at me getting through all these questions. That's pretty dope. And I got through all the super chats too. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I love it. Hey, man, y'all are the best, dude. I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope you guys all score all the fantasy points, man. Score them all. Score them all, baby. I'll see you guys next. I'll see you guys next Sunday. And again, if you guys want to find me, man, like go ahead. Find me on any social media. I shouldn't say any, but if you want to find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, find me at James D. Koh. Last name is spelled Koh. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys, man. I really, really do. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'll see you guys next Sunday right here on the RotoWire stream. Until then, peace. But remember, I want you guys to remember this. It is never too late to chase your dreams. Get after it. All right, man. Good luck, everyone out there. We'll see you. Peace.